All right, happy Friday night, everybody. A good Friday to you on a great Friday. Hope you have had a fantastic week. We're going to wrap it up together here in the Raiderland World Headquarters tonight. It is Friday. That means we find out what's the most Texan thing you did this week. Every week we ask that question. We got Tech baseball and softball looking for wins in the desert. Will they find them tonight? They didn't find them yesterday. And then after that, you give us the one food item, the one dish, the one meal you must have at Easter. Are you like hardcore? Litmus test. Got to have this one dish. What is it? And then finally, the Tech Spring game scrimmage tomorrow at Jones Stadium. Let's make spring games great again, or let's get rid of them. I agree with Joey McGuire on what needs to be done with these spring games. We'll find out if you agree as well. All right. All right. So let's make it happen. You guys know what to do. All the comments, questions, and everything else fire away on the United Supermarkets chat line. Still open tonight, still open tomorrow for all of your Easter shopping needs, whatever that may entail. Green beans. You know it's green beans. You got to get green beans. And then you got to find those little bitty cans of those shoestring potatoes that you think, I can't find where are they? There they are. They're going to have a lot of them. Go, United Supermarkets near you. We're also brought to you in part by Ultra Exteriors. You're doing home renovations this spring and summer. They do a great job, by the way, on windows. On everything else, I mean, they do a great job on things they haven't even considered doing before. I was talking to Warren Taylor today. Ultra Exteriors is like, man, we're going to do this thing. I've never done it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to look good. We're going to do this window treatment. You need to call them much more than windows, but Ultra Exteriors will make your home look great. And then Sideline Provisions, talking about looking great. All the Texas Tech gear you need. You can find it at Quarter 4 in Lubbock. That's the old Cardinal Sports Center. Or you can go on their website at quarter4.net. Go to Raider Zone or Raider Apparel, and it'll be a drop down on the menu, and you'll find all the stuff for Sideline Provisions. Created, owned, operated by great Red Raiders. They want you to look good. They got a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's get it going. Let's get the comments flowing in tonight. We want to hear from you. Thank you for taking some time on this Good Friday to spend with us this evening. So many different things we can get to, right? Whether it's baseball, whether it's softball. Softball, great game last night. Nigeria just gives up that two-run bomb, and that's the difference in a great game with two great teams. That you're on the same level with Arizona, blue blood, college softball. You're right there with them. That's the difference. We'll see what they do tonight. Baseball last night was the story of the season. Mac Ure gets through the first with a nice, they had a pickoff play, I believe, on one, and can't get out of the second. And then it's close. Jack Siebert was in. I thought Jack Siebert would be used tonight as the starter. I was kind of surprised. And then you can't get out of the seventh and eighth without giving up a bunch of runs, and you get beat 10-4. We'll see tonight. Let's see. Tyler Boudreaux getting the start tonight for Texas Tech baseball. We'll see how they do. Just give me progress. Again, 4 days in May for Texas Tech baseball is our hashtag, our countdown to the Big 12 tournament. You can't win the Big 12. You can't do anything on an RPI that is tonight 93. You're not. I mean, you bubble. Please stop. So just give me positives going into May. Give me positives going into the Big 12 tournament because you got to win 4 games. All right. So must-have stuff for Easter, must-have foods. Are you wedded to a certain traditional Easter feast? Or are you like me, that you like something? I mean, I'm fine with different stuff. The older I have gotten, and you would think you get more set in your ways. I've gone the other direction. The older I've gotten, I mean, if they came to me and said this week, hey, we're having fajitas for Easter, I'm like, sign me up. I'm good. But is there something you must have for Easter? Maybe it's a family classic. Your mom makes it, your grandmother makes it. Been that way for years. You tell us tonight. And then spring games. Do we really care anymore? I don't. I don't care anything about Tech scrimmage tomorrow. But if they were doing something different, what Joey McGuire wants to do, I might care. All right, let's get you guys going on the United Supermarkets chat line. JC is on our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. It's free. You sign up. You hit like every time we're on there. You share it. You grow it. You get more people in. Obviously, we're on Twitter X, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter X, where you can see the fantastic meal I had to pay. This is not plug-ola or pay-ola. I mean, this is just so good. I had to talk about it today. They're at Doc's Cafeteria by Coronado. Holy cow! And Facebook Live, we're always there. Must have deviled eggs. We're going to stop right there. Nope. Done. Don't want them. Don't want it. I mean, and there'll probably be some on the table come Sunday. I pretend like they're not there. Battered and deep fried, change your life. Nope. Don't want anything. I want my eggs fried hard or kind of runny, sunny, and enchilada. Those are my eggs. Those are my egg pronouns. That's what we ought to have. Egg pronouns. If you really want to know who people are, if you really want to find out who people are, egg pronouns. How do you like your eggs? Product placement. We're getting better at that over the years. Chelsea is on YouTube. Must have a Watergate salad. Tell me more about this Watergate salad. Watergate salad. I don't know that one. I'm willing to listen. Wendy, I guess we were blinded by what we thought was a very talented baseball team. But the reality is, I'm not sure if any of these players could be starters on most upper tier teams. Wendy, I agree with you to an extent, to a point. I think we know TJ Poppy's good. He's been hurt. Doesn't matter anymore. I look at this team and I don't believe they're anywhere near reaching the sum of their parts. Sometimes the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Well, in this case, the whole is much worse than the sum of the parts. Then I look around, I see individual talent that can play. Robin Villeneuve can play, I believe, for most teams. Logan Hughes can play for most teams. There used to be a guy named Damian Bravo. Not sure what happened. Dylan Maxey. I believe, these pitchers. The Mac Hewer I saw last year, not the Mac Hewer, and we can say there's injuries or otherwise. Jack Sieber, I think, is a very good pitcher. I think he's the best pitcher you got right now. And again, I was surprised you used him in relief, but then that might have been just Tim Tadlock going, we got a chance to win game one. We'll go all in here in the middle innings, see what Siebert can do in what was a close game at the time, and then we'll throw him back out there on Sunday. Because, again, it doesn't matter. You can get swept, you can sweep. It truly doesn't matter right now for Tech baseball. So you're trying to find some wins. But, yeah, Winnie, as each day goes by, the old Bill Parcells line, you are what your record says you are. You are who you look like, and you look like a team that the talent was overvalued, overestimated, and it gets back into why I don't like spring games in football, because we media people, commentators, everybody else, observers back in the fall, looking at the team and going, all right, look at these guys. They look really good. Well, they look good against each other. They weren't playing anybody. So did we overestimate and overvalue the ability of the individuals on this team? Perhaps, maybe. I still think there's something else. I still think there's culture. I still think there's playing together. I still think there are a lot of things that the Tim Tadlock teams of the past were great at, because you had guys that had been around for 2, 3, 4 years. And now you don't have that. I think that matters for this program. See. Meanwhile, Chelsea's going back to the Watergate salad. Watergate salad is pistachio pudding, crushed pineapple, and Cool Whip all mixed together. I think I've had it. I didn't know it was called that. Okay. If you got to have it, you got to have it. That's what we're talking about. The one must-have food for Easter on your Easter Sunday table. What is it? What is that? Your must-have. JC back on our YouTube channel. YouTube strong tonight. Facebook, where are you guys? Where's my Facebook people? Where are my Twitter people? Facebook usually really good. They, them, salad, deviled eggs. Awesome as all get out. And JC saying, I have the palate of a 15-year-old. That is not true. I have a very sophisticated palate. I do. I had mashed potatoes and gravy today. What more do you want? There's our Facebook people showing up. Facebook page, if you don't subscribe, you ought to. A lot of fun. Joseph, greasy cheeseburgers, hot dogs, and poppers off the grill and red velvet cake. I will have Easter Sunday lunch at your house anytime, Joseph. I guess that means I have the palate of a 15-year. It's probably true. I don't know if my wife would agree with that or not. James giving us thumbs up. He's getting on Facebook tonight. And we can't tell you guys enough how much I appreciate you being out here tonight on a Friday night, going into the holiest of weekends that we as Christians observe. And just thank you for being out there. It's kind of nice. We got baseball and softball to look forward to tonight. We can watch that. Softball on ESPN2, I believe. I think that's right. I think this is the one that's on ESPN2. If not, it's on ESPN Plus, and you can watch it there. So the one must-have menu item on your Easter plate, on your Easter spread. What is that? Said earlier, the older I've gotten, the less traditional I've gotten on, oh, you got to do this on this holiday, you got to do this. Me, I'm like, okay, it's a holiday. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy things. We should have things that we enjoy. Y'all, if y'all have paid any attention to me over the decades, you know my disdain for turkey. Thanksgiving, Christmas, otherwise, I hate turkey. Turkey, worthless, useless. You can fry it, you can inject it, you can smoke it, you can do whatever you want to with turkey. It immediately, everything you do, all the work you do on turkey, pales in comparison to just rolling out a bag of sliced sandwich ham and throwing it out there. It's not even close. Yeah, I'm totally into the whole non-traditional food meals on holidays. I said earlier, if you told me we were going to do, fajitas for Easter, I'd be like, that's cool. If you said, hey, we're going to have chili, and you can make chili dogs, and you can make chili and do whatever, okay, be good with that. Hey, we're stopping off at Gators Bayou on 98th and Slide. We're going to get a bunch of gumbo, crawfish, and we're going to do that. Okay, I'm good. Eat what you want. Eat what you want should be the mantra, the motto. But there are some things that need to happen on certain holidays, particularly Thanksgiving and maybe to a lesser extent Christmas. I don't need the turkey, but I need my mom's dressing, which is not stuffing. We all understand that, right? If she wanted to make stuffing for Easter with no reason whatsoever other than having it, wonderful, wonderful. My wife makes great mashed potatoes. She doesn't give herself enough credit. I don't need anything to go with the mashed potatoes. And there are a lot of times I could just do sides and be a happy camper, and I don't even need like whatever we call a main course. So, what are your favorite must-have, the one must-have food for Easter? Who makes it in your family? Maybe you make it. Maybe you do brisket for Easter, and you're the pit master. You handle all the smoking. You tell us tonight. Baseball, softball, most Texan thing you have done this week, whatever that may be, whatever that may entail. You tell us the most Texan thing you have done this week. I did not get all the mud cleaned off my truck when we finally had the last mud hole out here from that little bitty rain. And there's a guy who's irrigating down one of the corners, and water runoff would get on it. But because I was faithful, and I know it's going to rain tonight, tomorrow, into a Sunday morning. I know it's going to rain. I'm not going to take that dirt off my truck. I'm going to let it rain, and we'll do it next week. That's how good I am on that. Maybe the most Texan thing I have, the belief and the faith that the rain's going to come. Then we can talk about spring games. I don't think we have mentioned tonight Federico in the portal, exiting Texas Tech. Long story short, he gets another year off the JUCO eligibility case that was decided here recently. He is going to seek his entertainment elsewhere. We thank you, Federico. All right. So right now, Texas Tech has 8 scholarships on the basketball side, near as anybody can tell, to extend to anybody and everybody. The last couple of years, the roster hasn't been finalized until late May, into the summer, so we don't worry about it. But Federico, the story of a young man's journey from Helsinki to Minsk. I didn't get enough times to utilize that joke, and not enough people got it. James, I like my wife's green bean casserole. Standard, it's a West Texas deal. Again, that's where you got to find them little shoestring taters in the can and stuff. Not always easy. Chris, every year Easter smokes a pork butt. How do you keep it lit? James, no loss with Federico. I mean, you can probably find somebody at an equal pay rate to do what he did. But let's always remember the big role he played in that Arkansas comeback, where he had in one possession 17 rebounds, 2 stickbacks. I think he got fouled. He had like 7 points, and it was epic, man. And if all you ever did, Federico, and that's not all he did, but always remember the role he played in that Arkansas comeback there in the second half. So we salute you, Federico, wherever you may go. Go. Timbo down in Austin. Broccoli, cheese, rice, casserole, San Antonio squash, Threadgill's recipe there at the compound. I'm down with that. Maybe a little broccoli, cheese, rice today. It was good. So that's a quality side. That's where you get into the whole Thanksgiving and Easter, probably as much about the sides. Where are you guys on sweet potato pie, sweet potatoes, the sweet potatoes with the little marshmallows and stuff? How are we on that? I'm a 1-spoon guy on that. And by that, I mean you got that big-ass spoon sitting there in the little casserole plate, and you don't want to make anybody feel bad who made it, because that's what they make. And you know what I'm talking about. You've got an aunt, you've got somebody, and she makes everything, but nothing. But she's very proud of this one dish, right? Gary, Federico bailed. Well, he's in the portal. Spring games should go. Talking about spring games as well tonight. Make them great again or get rid of them. So Joey McGuire, quoted in the Avalanche Journal with Don Williams in his column, I think yesterday, talking about, hey, he's on board with what Colorado and Syracuse wanted to do this year, which was play a scrimmage game against each other. I mean, we can do it in high school. We can do it in junior high. We can do it at lower levels. Why can't we do it at the, quote, NCAA? And I'll be glad when I don't have to say NCAA level anymore and we get to the real, quote, college football league here in a few years, because we will play an inter-squad scrimmage. We'll have an exhibition game before the regular season starts. And it'll be wonderful. Yeah, Colorado and Syracuse wanted to play a game. The NCAA said, well, it's not really fair. It's too late in the game. We can't approve it. Not everybody else could do it. You know, in the typical NCAA, we don't have 17 committees to look at it and debate it. So, no, you can't do it. This would be the one time when I'd be like, yeah, okay, play UTEP. Play New Mexico. And none of this home and home crap. You're Texas Tech. They come to Jones Stadium. They play you. We don't go to their place. We're Texas Tech now. We don't go home and homes. We do 2-for-1s. We do you come here. We don't do home and homes. Act like it. Great stadium. All right? Cody Campbell, get that mindset riveted into them right now. We don't do home and home anymore. So when I talk about the spring game, there's nothing about what's going on tomorrow that's going to tell you anything about this team going into next year. Bear Morton's not playing. Douglas not playing. Aiken not playing. A couple of guys on the defensive side not playing. You got people in the portal. And at the end of the day, you're playing against yourself. So if the offense looks great tomorrow and you have a new offensive coordinator and a new defense coordinator, if the offense looks great, guess what? Your new defense coordinator sucks. Defense looks great. Your offense sucks. There is no win-win here. There's nothing to take away from these scrimmages. By the way, it's not televised and it's not streamed, and that's not by accident. They don't want any tape out there on anything they're doing. And I agree with that. If I can control and be a control freak, I agree with that. So if you want to see it, you got to go to Jones Stadium tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And if you go, God bless you. I hope it rains like hell. Let's see. Back to the comments on the United Supermarkets chat line where they're waiting for you. They've got the Easter baskets. You got ham. Saw turkeys there if you want one. They got briskets. I might go early in the morning. Pro tip, 7 o'clock on the open. Everything's stocked. Everything's ready to go. It's not like shopping. And it's going to be hand-to-hand combat later on Saturday. Old women will be pushed to the ground. Small children will cry. Men will do what they have to do to get what their wife has sent them to buy that you simply cannot find. So, hey, go early tomorrow, United Supermarkets. Chris on Facebook, no key lime with blackberries. I don't know what the no part is, but key lime pie, blackberries? Key lime pie is fine with me. Sweet potato is a fall root inappropriate for Easter. I'm intrigued by the reasoning. I mean, I get the time, but yeah. I'm really weird on the sweet potato. Every now and then it seems like it's something really good, and a lot of times I don't want anything to do with it. It's not my potato. James, if it's a potluck, I'll always ask who made a dish. I need to know if the cat was on the counter. There's so much truth to that right there. It's brilliant. We got about 8 minutes to go with you guys tonight on a Friday. If you have not invited your friends in, do so now. If you would suffer me again, please sign up for our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Don't cost anything. We're trying to drive that sub list over 500. Cool stuff happens. And then you can watch on Facebook. That's a good thing too, right? Think so. Alan, smoked ham, deviled egg, another deviled eggs person. Hot cross buns, bacon wrapped asparagus. All right, I don't do asparagus. Smoked ham, good ham. Ham is good ham. Federico brought good vibes to the team and fan base. Wish him well, 100%. And we get into the who is still on the basketball team. So let's go to our who is still on the basketball team portion of this. I think Ryan Mainville put this together. So, Mariel Akuntak, 6'10" forward from Fort Erie International Academy High School. Jazz Henderson Jr., your 5'11" guard. Leon Horner, the third coming in, 6'6" guard wing player. Christian Anderson is back. JT Toppin is back. Lewan or Lejean, I've heard it pronounced two different ways. I kind of like Lewan. Lewan Watts, 6'6", coming out of Washington. Tyree Bryan, the 6'5" wing. Donovan Atwell, and then Jack Francis with the asterisk by his name, letting you know the 6'3" guard is not on scholarship. So that's where you are. You got three on the roster as it's constructed right now. 3 seniors, 2 juniors in Toppin and Watts. You got 3 sophomores by grade, and then Maria, the freshman, coming in. So that's the roster. That's the roster right now, Chris, as we understand it on this Good Friday. Things can change. All right, so what do you guys think about spring games that ought to involve other teams? We're all for this, right? Otherwise, I mean, why even do it? I wouldn't. I mean, I would do like a scrimmage, another scrimmage. We can't make spring games like it used to be where we actually play games. We can't divide the teams up. Don't have the players to do it. Nobody wants to get hurt. But there's actual value to be derived by playing another team. And you can do it. And I think Joe McGuire talked about it in the AJ. That you can do it very similar to what NFL teams do in training camp. And when, the Cowboys, they're at Cal Lutheran and Oxnard and out there in California and the other California-based spring training teams, you'd bring a team in scrimmage against each other for a day, maybe 2 days, and it would usually end in fights. And it was great, like the Raiders and the Cowboys. After the second day, it would end in fights. The coaches are breaking it up, but at least you were doing something different. That you could take Tech to the Metroplex and hang out against SMU for a day and have a workout and then have a scrimmage. Why are we doing this? Well, we know why, because the NCAA is obtuse. The NCAA is stupid, but luckily the NCAA is pretty much done with major college football and will have virtually no say on major college football within the next year or two. It doesn't matter. But we're stuck with it this year, and we're stuck with, hey, if you want to go watch them tomorrow, and if you do, great. But remember, again, I take nothing away from intra-squad scrimmages. I know in high school I looked good in intra-squad scrimmages. I wasn't good. So keep that in mind. No matter what happens tomorrow, you've learned nothing about this team. You'll learn nothing about them until they actually play a game next year against a legitimate opponent. But nothing else matters. All right, real quick, we got about 5 minutes left with you tonight. Tech baseball and softball. Anybody got a good feeling about baseball? Hopefully softball, just get one. That's all you got to do at Arizona. You still control your own destiny in the Big 12 race, near as I can tell, with the way the schedule breaks. And that means I think if you win the regular season, you will host NCAA tournament play. I do not know college softball RPI nearly as well as I understand and break down college baseball RPI. I won't pretend to. What I do know is that Arizona was slightly ahead of you on the RPI. You control the standings going in the later stages of Big 12 play. I can't imagine a scenario where the Big 12 conference champion regular season doesn't host NCAA softball. I just can't see that. Most Texan thing you did this week, one must-have food, anything else on your mind? Lonnie's jumping in on our Facebook page. What do you got here? Thoughts on Division I baseball going down to 34 players and full scholarships to all? Well, they're not going down. We've been at 11.7. And if you had full scholarships at 34, you have many more players on scholarship, obviously, than you had before. It's an increase of scholarship players. Here's where the crunch becomes, and let's just take it to a Texas Tech standpoint. At 11.7, and whatever the max was, basically in the upper 20s, early low 30s. Here's the deal. Now, just regionally, the teams with NIL money, and they've got them in the SEC. Forget about you're competing against Big 12 regionally with TCU and Baylor. Baylor, I know, but come on, I got to give them some. And Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas A&M. They get now about another 10 guys. So that's 70 players that now can go to an SEC school that previously would have been looking at Texas Tech, perhaps. And, well, he says 40-man roster. 40-man roster, but really the roster doesn't matter. It was 11.7 is the only thing that matters. The 11.7 mattered much more than the total. And nobody had 40 guys, dudes. You had 40. You might have guys in the program. You didn't have 40 dudes. So to me, the biggest change is the ability now for these SEC schools in your area to control about 70 more players at full pay than they could before. That is a challenge, a big challenge for Texas Tech baseball going forward. JC, yeah, NCAA out of picture beyond this. You're asking for permission. No need for forgiveness. Go to SMU or host someone at stadium. Yeah. Anyway, and that's the thing. Big picture on what JC's saying. If I'm a college football program now, I'm taking the line from Wyatt Earp and Tombstone. I don't think I'll let you arrest us today. And that's all you got to tell the NCAA now. I don't think we'll let you arrest us today. I don't think anything you have is enforceable. We'll see you in court. Kiss my ass. We're going to do what we want to do. And more power if they do it. SMU at the Star, Tarleton. Yeah, they're just purple Aggies. Time. All right, we're in overtime now, but he got in late, and he's one of our great contributors and a great viewer and audience member here in Raiderland. So, I'm not going to just ignore this. Dear Hyatt, how are you? Fake Natalie Maines, who may or may not be the real Natalie Maines. I'm fine. Do you think with the new offense that we might finally see a huddle? We'll see. I'm pro huddle. I like the circular huddle. I like the choir huddle. I like the huddle from the standpoint of it gives guys time to clear their brain from the previous play, think for just a second, control a little pace, and then we go. If nothing else, that's why I like the huddle. And it allows the quarterback to look into the eyes of every player and run the show. And that way you can see if a guy looks like, I don't want to throw the ball to him. You get it. I'd never complain again if the heavens aligned and we ran our offense like the way Jesus, Santa, and the Easter Bunny want it. Thank you for the Raiderland that you give us. Happy Easter to you and yours. Happy Easter to you and yours. Yes. Yes. Jesus likes huddles. Although he did have 12 men on the field, which, was problematic. Oh, well. They figured it out as they went along. Last chance, get your questions, comments in. The one food you must have at Easter, the one food item, Tech Spring Game. Let's make them great again, or let's get rid of them. Baseball, softball tonight, most Texas thing you did. Lonnie, are we about to see a 4-division NCAA? Lots of money, some money, little money, and no money. I think you will see an NCAA that might hold on to the smaller non-revenue sports, the Olympic sports as we used to call them. Top college football, basketball breaks away. The NCAA might still have a role in playing, and adjudicating championships in women's basketball, baseball, potentially, track and field, things like that. I don't think you're going to have the divisions. I just think you're going to have a major split on one in one sport in football, major split in basketball, and they might even go together and run their own championship in basketball, which would be cool and it would work. So the NCAA, they just can't bring anything. And really, the NCAA dies the minute the major conferences pull the plug on the NCAA basketball tournament. The NCAA basketball tournament funds pretty much everything at the NCAA level. The day that's gone, the day that the conferences like the Big 12 and the SEC and the ACC go, we can put our own tournament with 64 teams, work with ESPN and Turner, or ESPN and CBS and NBC, fill in the blank. The day that happens, the NCAA has no money. They have no reason to exist. I hope I'm around. I hope I am around in 10 years to see what the landscape is, because I've been saying for almost 25 years now, this is where we're heading. And I am exactly like the guy who stood on the street corner holding a sign that the world will end today. Well, one day you're right. And I've been saying for 25 years, the world's going to end when it comes to the NCAA and how we do things. By gosh, if I hang in there long enough, I'm going to get it right. I hope you guys have a blessed Easter weekend. I hope you have a great, great amount of fun with family, with friends, food, and everything. I hope that you guys, for those who, are that way inclined, we embrace and understand what Christ Jesus did for us in conquering death so that we can have no fear. We can have no fear, no day that we wake up knowing that death has been conquered by Christ, and that by him coming down off the cross and arising, that we can follow in his footsteps. I hope that you guys have that comfort and that knowledge going through the weekend. We'll be with you Saturday, maybe a Diamond Talk late in the day, recap the weekend of baseball. Our Saturday column with no name will be there. And then Sunday, we will have our 5 things we know on Sunday. So please enjoy the weekend, enjoy the night. We'll be with you on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. Thank you for subscribing to our YouTube channel. I know you're going to kick us over 500 tonight, and our Facebook friends are always out there. We got a lot of cool stuff going on Facebook. Thank you for being out there. Thank you for being a part of what we do. And amen, Lonnie. Amen. We'll see you around at theraiderland.com.